Alright boys, let's get this thing started. Are we all ready?
Yeah.
Yes.
Fantastic. Well, welcome everybody. G'day and welcome to our very, very special live edition of Discussion Points. My name is B0ds and you are joined with me this evening by 6 Adelaide players, Adelaide local players who competed in the Double City Championships over the weekend. It is my absolute pleasure to welcome Daniel Jarrett.
Hey.
Matt Shear.
Howdy.
Jordan Palmer.
Hello.
Blake Whiteman.
Hello.
Maddie Macefield.
What up?
And Aaron VDK.
Hey.
Alright guys, so we've got a absolutely jam-packed discussion to go through this evening. Mostly what we're going to talk about is the Adelaide double itself, all your guys' placings, the decks you played, all the good stuff like that. And then we're going to really break down what our favourite decks were from the XY to Breakthrough sets and the Breakpoint metagame going forward. How's that sound?
Brilliant. Sounds good.
Fantastic. Alright, let's start things off nice and easy. I want to chat about the double event. Now, is it possible that you guys know offhand how many players in Masters you had on each day?
I can tell you. There was 50 Masters on the first day and 33 Masters on the second day.
50, that's a fantastic turnout for Adelaide.
Yeah,
so
we were so shocked.
Let's start with that one, shall we? 50 on day 1. So, going into this event, obviously all of you here have placed exceptionally well over the weekend, and I'm very, very impressed, to say the least, by all of you, so we're going to dive into that a bit later on. What I do want to talk about, however, now, is the event and what you guys were expecting the meta to be. So basically, I'm going to go down the list on the stream. I'm going to start with you, Daniel. What were you expecting the meta to be like on the day?
I wasn't 100% sure. I was definitely expecting Night March and Mewtwo. Mewtwo of which didn't actually rock up except, I think, Scott Langford, who was like the only Mewtwo player.
Pretty much.
Yeah.
There was a few others.
Yeah,
There was one from Mildura, I think, that was playing this.
I think you're thinking of Stephen Filipowski, he played it.
No, there was one other one because he played against.
Oh yeah, you're right.
Actually, no, one of the Safed players was also playing it. The only
that's
other
the one.
thing I was certain to expect was that. And yeah, other than that, I wasn't actually sure on what I could see. So I went in a bit unsure.
Alright, and let's go now to Matt S. What were you expecting the meta to be like, mate?
Pretty much the same as Daniel. I was expecting a lot of Night March and a lot of Night March, to be honest.
Alright, Jordan, same sentiment?
Yeah, definitely heaps and heaps of Night March, which definitely influenced my deck choice at the end of the day.
Blake, how about you? Night March all the way?
Yeah, I knew that there's a fair few good Night March players in SA, and there's some pretty good Manectric Bats players as well. Other than that, I knew there would be like 1 or 2 SA and a couple Mega Mewtwo floating around.
Fantastic. Alright, Matty M.
I was actually expecting Night March like everyone else, but I was expecting a hell of a lot of like Veltal as well, and a lot of Manectric Bats, but you know, we only saw like 2 or 3 Veltal decks, which was pretty nice.
Alright, little man, what were you expecting?
A lot of Night March, and a tiny bit of like dark variants, Mewtwo, Yveltal.
Alright, now let's talk about the 2 winning decks over the 2 days, okay? So obviously we have both the winners in our presence now, Jordan from day 1 and Matt S from day 2. Jordan playing Toad Bats on day 1 and Matt playing Manectric Bats on day 2. So obviously, seeing these decks do well makes me lead to the assumption that obviously you guys were expecting Night March.
That is very correct.
The 2 Bats decks, obviously you're expecting some Night March. Is that what actually happened? Jordan?
I think, looking at the deck results from the first day, Night March was exactly 20% of the field, which is huge. So I think that is what happened, although I personally didn't actually hit any until like the last round of Swifts. So there were, despite being the Night March being the biggest, there was actually a high variety of decks at the event besides Night March.
And Matt S, how about you?
Well, I was a lot of Night March, a lot of day. but surprisingly only hit one Night March. Oh,
Wow.
Hey guys, somebody's background noise is quite immense. We'll keep going, but I just wanted to let you know that there's a lot of talking in somebody's background. I'm not too sure who it is.
Is it yours,
So it's
Maddie?
probably
It
mine.
was you, Jordan. Oh,
Oh, mine.
I think it's Maddie's. Judging by his blue ring. Off he goes now.
That's okay. Alright, let's keep going, because I want to chat now about the second day. What was the second day much the same as the first day, where Night March was the most popular deck? This question for anybody.
Sorry, is that better?
Yes, mate.
Yeah.
Thank you.
well, as an overall, I feel that, like, yeah, Night March was mostly present. But, as I said, over the whole weekend, I only came up against one, and that was on day one. So,
Yeah. I was expecting to see actually more Night March at Hobby Matrix on day 2 than at Marion on day 1, but I ended up playing exactly the same amount of Night March.
I played against like 3 in Swiss on the first day, and the second day I think I played against only 1 or 2. But a lot of the people who travelled down from Melbourne left after the first day, and a large amount of the player base from Marion couldn't make it down. So I think that contributed to why we saw less of it on the second day.
Alright, so I want to talk about, before we get into everybody's results, I would like to talk about any surprises that you guys may have seen on either day 1 or day 2. Were there decks that you perhaps weren't expecting? Or maybe there was a deck you were expecting a lot of that you didn't see, or maybe there was a deck you're expecting none of that you saw, and so on and so forth. So, this question to anybody. Daniel?
Yeah, I saw at Marion a Mega Manetric Evolcil deck, which I really wasn't expecting. Like, it hasn't been seeing much play lately from what I've seen, so it was just kind of unexpected, so I tied against that.
Were there any other interesting decks that anybody played against that they weren't expecting?
I didn't
To
play
be
against.
honest,
that's
Sorry, guys.
I think that Daniels was the most surprising for me. I mean, Raichi Zorog is not a deck I was expecting, and it made top 8 twice.
I didn't play against it personally, but both days I saw a Mega Ampharos deck. Unsurprisingly, at the bottom tables, but it was cool. The art's great on that card. So
Yeah,
Well, go on,
Sorry.
Daniel.
I actually saw Dale playing against that, and afterwards he actually admitted that it was a hard match, which I
well,
found
he was
quite...
playing Mega Ray, so that's probably why.
Yeah,
That's another surprising deck, actually. I wasn't expecting anyone to play Mega Ray.
Yeah, well, James is tricky, so I knew he'd come up with something.
however, it
Just-
was Dragon Ray Matty, so that's a bit of a disappointment.
On day 1, our boy Shane MacGyver Brown played Golurk, and he went like 3-2-1.
Oh,
Not
yes.
bad. Not bad at all.
another surprise was even Meme Scout on day 1.
Oh yeah, there was like 2 or 3 meme shower with like evolutions and stuff. That was pretty cute.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Nice, nice. We're getting a lot of different stuff. That's good. All right, boys. So now what we're going to do is we're going to basically go down the list of all your accomplishments, and we're going to chat a little bit about it, about the decks you used. I hope that some of you aren't really going to mind sharing some tech choices, some card choices, things like that, as we are now going into a new metagame. So we're going to start at the very top, and that is with Jordan. Jordan, on the first day, you ended up winning the first event, and you top 4'd the second event. So that is an incredible achievement. Did you play the same deck on both days?
Same 60 cards.
Same 60 cards, and you were playing Toad Bats.
Yep.
What do you think the biggest difference between your victory on the first day and your top 4 on the second day is?
I don't think there was really much of a difference, to be honest. I mean, I guess it was just the matchups that I hit in Top Cut that determined how far I made it.
Okay. What was your matchups in Cut on the second day like?
On the second day, I faced Blake in top 8, which was Manetric Toad Bats, which is a pretty even matchup, so I was able to take that. And top 4 was probably one of my worst matchups, being Aaron playing Toad Tina, and I lost to that. Both my win and loss were due to dead draws, though. So
Okay, and looking back on the event now, having placed fantastically twice, is there any cards that you would change in your Toad Bats deck?
I wouldn't say I'd change anything for that current meta game. Obviously, going into Breakpoint, I think I would update it with new cards, but I'm pretty happy with the list that I used for both days.
Fantastic. All right, now let's go down now to Matt S. So you managed to place first on the second day, beating out Aaron here.
Yep.
And that was playing Manectric Bats. Did you play Manectric Bats on the first day as well?
Yeah, I did actually.
What was the biggest difference that you found between your success on day 2 compared to unable to make cut on the first day?
Honestly, I think it would have to be due to matchups like just in the normal Swiss. Like, unfortunately, with day 2, my starts were on paper better matchups against Maddie in my first 2 rounds because they were playing Metal Ray and YZG, and I know that the minute that they're on paper better matchups.
Definitely. And was there anything, we're going to talk about your final, we'll probably chat about that with Aaron later on as we go down. But did you find that there was anything, that the matchup in the final was very difficult?
Definitely the item lock. That really hurt from Quaking Punch was not any of my items. That was the hardest part.
Okay, we're going to come back to some Seismitoad discussion a little bit later on. But now we go down to Matty M, Mr. Consistent himself, and there's a couple of you here this evening who have placed the same position twice in the 2 days. So we're going to chat now, Matty, about your 2 top 4s. Were you playing the same deck on both days?
I did. That was Yveltal, Zorak, Gallade.
Now you must have done
Camels.
something. You must have done something exceptional to get those Gallades out, because my weekend in Brisbane was a much different story when it came to getting out those Gallades.
I didn't get them out every game, but when I did get them out, they put in their work. You know what it's like. You have to have some sort of luck and some sort of consistency build with it, and I think I had a bit of both that weekend.
What do you think? Obviously, placing in the same position on both days means that you would have got to see a variety of decks on each day, and you would have got to see a variety of different decks above you and below you.
Yeah.
What do you think was the biggest difference between the first and second days for you personally and for your matchups?
Well, to be honest, I didn't really test going into the day, so I didn't know the matchups too well. And in the first day, I versed a hell of a lot of Night March, and I went 1-1-1 against them. And that was kind of difficult. In the second day, I got paired up against 3 again, and I sort of just walked all over him.
Practice makes perfect, huh?
Yeah, I know. Stay in school, kids.
That's it. And who of these players that we have with us now who have placed above you did you lose to in top 4, if any?
In top 4 on day 1, I versed Jordan, and he was playing Toad Bats. I missed the Gallade in both games that I played against him, and that was kind of, huge. So the whole rest of the game, I was just drawing items after item. And in day 2, I was versing Matt Shear, and in game 1, I got absolutely rolled by him. Game 2, I got 2 Gallades out, not just 1, but yeah, that kind of helped. And in game 3, it went down to the wire. I think we both had 1 prize left, and came to a little bit of misplay by both of us in the last few rounds. I think a bit of tiredness, but he came out on top.
Fantastic. Uh-oh. We've lost poor Matty S, I'm afraid.
Oh, good thing his interview part's done.
Alright.
He's good at that.
I'm afraid, Matty, we're going to have to go on without you, my friend. So let's keep going on now, fellas, as we do have a video to do as well at the same time. So we're going to go to you now, Blake. Your 2 events ended up with you in a top 4 and a top 8. So I want to ask you, were you playing the same deck over both days?
Yeah, I played. I played this for pretty much the same lists over both days. I only made 1 change going into the second event. But yeah, the same list pretty much.
Okay, can I ask you what that change was?
I had a. What did I have? I had a Parallel City in to remove Shaman's from my board on the first day because of all the Night March. and I didn't use it that often, so I swapped it out for a third head ringer, expecting people to switch to more like Manectric bats and Lucario bats, and it's really important to get the head ringers down to slow them down.
Okay, and how did you find your deck performed over the weekend? Did you feel as though it got better with the change in the metagame that you saw from day 1 to day 2?
Well, it was pretty much the same both days because I got really good matchups on day 1 and started off 4-0 and then ID'd into cut. And day 2, I had a couple really tough matches to start off. I had to beat Mega Sceptile to start, and then I had like a really close mirror match against Matt Shear, which I actually beat. And then I got to 4-0 that day as well, and ID'd in. But other than that, I don't think the change really helped that much at all. Going back, I'd probably change the third head ringer to maybe like a Flare Grunt, because that helped in the Toad mirror matches. Would have come up a bit more, I think.
Okay. Alright, sorry boys, I am going to keep going, but I am going to have to start moving some stuff around, because unfortunately our Skype has been a little messed up based on Matt being unable to reconnect for us.
Yep.
So I want to talk to you now, Daniel, and I want to ask you some general questions to let you waffle on for a minute or two, so we can get the stream back up and running to working condition. What I want to ask you is why the inclusion of Raichu?
Well, the idea of the deck came from when I was actually playing in the series at Geelong. I was playing Raichu Bats, and I teched in a 2/2 Zoroark. And the deck worked fine, but I didn't like the inconsistency of the bats in the deck, because I found that really inconsistent. And after the Geelong cities, I just thought, well, the deck worked fine as just Raichu teching in Zoroark, so why not try that out? And that's just what I did. You know, just aggress with Raichu, and if they try to aggress back, switch into Zoroark and hit them hard because they've got a big bench.
Okay, and in saying that, did you find that you were playing against a lot of these matchups that you were after?
After a while of just playing the deck, I was finding that not all of matchups were actually that good for the deck. Like, there's any mega deck this deck completely just fails at. What Aaron was playing, Totina, he was pretty much an auto scoop for me, but anything other than that, I found I had a somewhat decent matchup against.
Is there any changes that you saw in the metagame over the 2 days that would have influenced your decision to take out Raichu? Or even add more?
In those 2 days, no, I don't think I would have taken out Raichu. I probably will change the deck entirely after we go into Breakpoint, but the only change I would probably make to the build that I played over the 2 days would be to add a budget in.
Okay.
Because the only EX that I ran were Shaman and, on day 2, a Tekken Toad, which Maddie suggested.
Did you find that the inclusion of the Toad was helpful?
Yes, very, very. It was mostly useful in games where I couldn't one-shot stuff, so I would slow them down with a Toad for a few turns, then switch into one of my main attackers and just swing.
Okay. Alright, boys. While we're almost fixed everything up and the stream looks like it's slowly going back to normal.
Did we skip Aaron? I think we skipped Aaron.
We may have skipped Aaron.
Yeah.
I promise that it was only a little on purpose.
Alright, that's good. As long as you meant it. That's really matters.
Alright, so you guys can check the stream looks pretty good now.
I'm not going to risk losing connection by checking the stream.
Alright, there we are. Perfect.
All my parents watch it. Mum, Dad, Carol.
Thanks, Mum and Dad.
All 3 of your parents are watching it.
Shut up, Blake.
Alright, Aaron, let's chat to you. Let's chat to you now.
Bad idea.
Because, unfortunately, that's what we have to do. Alright, Aaron. Placing second on the second day and top 8 in the first day, if I do recall correctly, did you play the same deck that you've been playing for all the city championships so far?
Yes.
And for our viewers, could you let them know what deck that is?
That was Seismitoad Giratina.
Boo! Sorry, I just wanted to boo you, really. Alright, so being one of those people that played the Seismitoad deck, have you found that the deck has any glaring weaknesses in the past format that people were maybe unaware of?
There weren't any giant weaknesses. It didn't really have many bad matchups, apart from like just a speed Giratina variant. Most of its matchups are either 50-50 or favourable.
Was there anything that people thought would be a good matchup for the deck that you found in the event and in testing that was actually a really good matchup for you?
Jordan thought that Mega Mewtwo was a great matchup for him, but
Which it is.
in testing, but in tournament we were 50-50, so I say it's 50-50.
What about
I'll make halfway.
what about Tyrantrum Giratina, Aaron?
Oh, I slaughter that. Everyone thinks that they've got such a good matchup with me, but I just slaughter that.
Yeah, I spent like 2 hours trying to build a good list for that, and then me and Aaron tested it, and it's just garbage. You can't do anything against that deck. Just everything you love just gets hammered away.
Exactly. Having played against 3 different Seismitoad Giratina decks in 2 city championships, I can safely tell you that I never ever want to see it ever again.
It's still good.
It is still good, and that is something that we're going to chat
Frustrating.
about a bit later on. I want to chat to each of you about the decks that you played and what they sort of gained from the breakpoint. But first of all, thank you, Aaron, for that, and congratulations again to all of you. Matt, I know that you, Matt S., I'm afraid that you're not here anymore, but thank you very much for joining us this evening, and I'm sorry that we
Rest in
couldn't
peace.
work out our connection issues. Alright guys, what we're going to move on to now, I'm going to go down the list again, and I want to chat to you guys about your favourite decks from the X and Y to Breakthrough metagame. Maybe it was a deck that you guys really enjoyed playing, maybe it was a deck you guys enjoyed watching played, maybe it was just a deck that you saw and liked the look of in the US even, or anywhere in the world. As it was a format that we had for, good God, about 14 city championships now, or something ridiculous all over the
It's
country.
not that many.
Something like that. 2, 4, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, about 12 then maybe?
Gross.
Probably more.
Hey look, I'm doing my best here to completely guess out of random, fellas. Give
It
me
was
a
like
break.
3 in Tasmania as well.
Yeah, exactly. Blake, don't knock me off my game, man. I got this, I promise. Alright, boys, so let's chat now about our favourite XY to Breakthrough decks. And of course, in the Breakthrough metagame that we saw through our cities, we saw the inclusion of an excessive amount of cards that really shook up the game, from Gallade to Zoroark and Zoroark Break, and a whole bunch of other cards that, off the top of my head, I'm not going to remember right at this second. So let's start with you, Daniel. I wanna know what your favourite deck in the X and Y to Breakthrough metagame was.
XY all the way through the breakthrough. It's a hard pick, but I'm actually going to say what I played over the weekend. I just found it so much fun. That's actually the reason why I took it back for day 2. I was actually going to play Manek Toadbat on day 2, but I just
That's a good choice. I advise it.
yeah. But yeah, I just had so much fun playing this on day 1. But yeah, it worked out pretty well for me. So day 2 as well. So
Alright, so how about you, Jordan?
I would definitely say my favorite deck was Mewtwo Y Veltal Zoroark. I played it at like 4 out of the 6 cities I went to, and I just had so much fun playing it. I was very hesitant to change for Adelaide, but in the end I'm glad I did, but it's still my favorite deck.
Fantastic. Blake, how about you?
My favorite deck this format is actually one I never took to an event because I just thought it was bad meta-wise. It was Entei Charizard. I have a lot of fun testing that online because it's very similar to Night March in aggressiveness, which I love. But in meta, there was just like too much Toad and Giratina and annoying stuff like that. So I thought it was just better to go with Manectric bats and Manectric Toad bats because I think that suited it better. But yeah, Entei was probably definitely my favorite.
All right, Maddie, how about you, mate?
Well, I played one deck this year so far, so YZG is obviously my favorite. But I do have an honorable mention. I do like the idea of Octo Boys, like Octillery with Gallade. Like, that deck is just like, you know, on the X attackers and just hits so hard for what it is. But I guess you can just say I like Gallade in this format.
Why did you say Cameron, Maddie?
Camerupt, I didn't play that. Like, I played that last format.
I
And
told
why
him to
not
play it
Dragon
day 2.
Ray? What about Dragon Ray?
Yeah, it should
Dragon
be
Ray, I
Dragon
played that
Ray.
last format. I haven't updated it for Breakthrough.
Mistake.
Totally would though.
Oh, definitely.
It's coming back.
I'm bringing it back, guys.
Later.
All right, and Little Ace Vanderkolk.
My favourite deck is Toad Tina, just because of the amount of disruption. And in a close second was probably Toad Brandard.
That is
This
the
deck
most.
is the worst.
Yeah, I'm awful.
That's probably the worst answer a single human being can give.
This is why people pay you out, Aaron.
I know I shouldn't have eaten before this interview. I'm feeling sick already.
I actually think we should cut the stream off there.
I'll just cut Aaron off.
Yeah, I'll put the there's a big X over where Matt Shear used to be, so I might just move that one down to Aaron's stream.
Like the quit smoking thing, just put it over his
Yeah, exactly.
little symbol over his head.
Quit, Aaron.
Quit Toad, quit Hammers.
Aaron, as a serious question before we move on, how does it feel being that much of a scumbag?
It feels great. Have you seen people on PTCGO rage?
I'm afraid that I don't play PCCGO because I spent too much money playing Hearthstone to back out now.
And he's
Oh.
retired, so he doesn't play the game anymore.
Yeah, I'm really retired. I haven't played a single hand of Pokemon in like 4 days. You know, that's what happens when you're retired.
I was
Yep.
retired.
It's so
Just don't-
selfish.
Just don't play it ever.
For me, because I know you're all itching to hear my opinion on my favorite deck. But
Not really,
Nah.
no.
No, man.
look, I didn't bring all of you on here for this lip, all right? I brought
You're just
you
gonna
on
say
here.
Lucario bats, so it's not like we.
I
don't-
brought you
not
on
even
here
that
out of good. You don't know if I was gonna say Lucario bats.
I do,
Anyway,
'cause
my
it's not the
favorite
one
day
deck
from
you-
X and Y to Breakthrough was Lucario. Yeah, all right.
It's the only deck you did well with, so of course you're gonna say.
Hey, hold on a minute. Now that Lucario bats list was only 3 Landorus away from my my top 2 cities winning Landorus Lucario bats list from about 2 years ago.
Last year.
Yeah,
Last
I
year.
saw it because Amy brought it down with her to Sydney.
Yeah, but Amy's not as good as I am, which is why she didn't do really well.
But she has
Amy's
the trophy.
Yeah, but I am a trophy.
Favorite trophy wife.
Yeah. I'm a gift, realistically. I'm a gift. Alright, boys, so before this just completely derails, we can derail it at the end when we're all done with the seriousness.
Nice.
What I want to
Love
chat to you about
strategy.
now is the breakpoint metagame and going forward into the rest of the city championships and the regional championships coming up soon. We have most of our regionals confirmed now, and we are confirmed to be getting a double in Sydney-Canberra.
Yep.
Just by a quick show of hands, how many people is that going to attract?
I'm gonna go drink.
Definitely. Not drinking, but going.
I'll come with Maddie.
I'm poor. I'm staying home.
No, Blake, you're coming. I'm making you.
Blake, I'll buy you a beer.
If we drive there and people cover all my expenses, I'll think about it.
That truly is the dream scenario.
LTD.
Oi, Blake, $55 flights there and back.
That's pretty good.
Yeah, it's not bad.
That is pretty good.
I'll think about it. You know.
Alright,
I'll
now
buy you flights.
on the serious side, let's chat now about these regionals and about the breakpoint metagame. So with a double regionals, we are going to see an excessive amount of people at these events, probably over 60 for each event.
And an excessive amount of bad experiments failed.
An excessive amount of new breakpoint decks that people are going to try. What I want to chat to you guys about, my first breakpoint related meta question, is what do you think is going to be the single most impactful card out of the entire breakpoint set? And we're going to go down the list. Daniel.
Okay, I need PGCGO for
The
this one.
single most impacting card, I would probably say Greninja Break, if not Trevenant Break, because it just makes both those decks really, really good.
Okay, Jordan.
I think it's Delinquent. Just the fact that that card is in format is going to have to change the way people play.
Yeah.
All right, Blake.
You can't go under 3 cards.
I don't think I've built a list that fully uses it to its full potential, but I think Puzzle of Time could possibly shape the format. Just to give a different answer to Jordan, because if he didn't say it, I was going to say Delinquent.
All right, Maddie.
2 words, Max Elixir.
Oh.
That's
All
pretty
right.
good too.
And Aaron.
Fury Belt. How's no one said that yet?
Because it's not that good.
Yeah.
Megaphone's a
Makes
thing.
Night March ridiculous.
You're ridiculous.
It really doesn't. If you know that Fright Night Evoltal, if you want to look at that up on your collection browser, it's going to be put in every deck. Either that or just like a card that's been in the format forever that no one really likes to use that often, called the Starling Megaphone.
I use it.
When you start
Alright.
using that for knockouts, then you're going to be regretting.
Yeah, you're not a
like-
hipster for using Starling Megaphone. It's just a good card. People just didn't use
Everyone's
it.
going to play the Bennett from Roaring Skies now. So
Yeah,
good.
every single deck is going to play Wobbuffet,
That
Bannet.
It's
Wobbuffet,
gonna-
Bannet, Bats. You heard it here first on the Discussion Points podcast.
The reason it doesn't shape the format is because Zerosic, Starling Megaphone, Bannet, and that Fright Night Evoltal exists. That's why it won't shape the format.
And they can now all take prizes.
Yes.
Don't forget Miss Magius too. If we're
Yeah.
just listing random psychic Pokemon that do random things.
No, they all affect tool cards, Bodhi.
Yeah. Alright, mate. Whatever you say.
On the top
Actually-
of Psychic Pokemon, I nearly dropped a game to bind it, or I did drop a game, nearly a set to bind a drop because of a Shuffet.
Actually, another card that I reckon will shape the format would probably be Slowking. Just the fact
Yes, actually. That
No.
card is very good. Not
That-
shape the
I'm
format,
going,
but it'll
guys.
have an impact. That card is good.
Hang
Yeah.
on.
Much better than Hollow.
Alright,
Hang on.
boys.
Let
my
me check
quest-
if it's good. Let me check if it's good.
My question is.
No, it's not. It's not.
That was
like-
ahead. You
my
know it.
question is, what is Slowking?
flip once per turn, flip a coin. If heads, you can move any energy on your opponent's active Pokemon to one of their bench.
Slow bro, it's Laking.
And it's
hang
stats.
on. I'll get you
It
the exact
stacks as
thing.
well, yeah.
It's
Like-
stacks.
How does it stack?
Because you
use
get
more
more than
than
one
them.
in play, and then you flip like
Royal
four turns.
Royal Flash.
Yeah.
Once during your turn, before you attack, you may flip a coin. If heads, move an energy from your opponent's active to one of his or her bench Pokemon. So
many
you can
Hoopers are gonna have so many energy.
Yeah.
discard Strongs and Double Dragons by attaching them to the wrong Pokemon. But it's pretty gimmicky on a coin flip. If you stack up 2, that means like you have just as good a chance as hitting like a Crushing Hammer heads. So
Yeah.
I don't
think
know. I
the
think
most-
I'd rather.
Stack up four.
It's like an extra Crushing Hammer every turn.
You're never gonna get 4 Slowkings out in the field.
I'm gonna get 4 Slowkings out, and you're gonna cry.
The most important thing that you
Yeah,
have to
well,
know
I play
Maniac
Hex
will win.
Maniac.
about the Slowking is that you can use the Fossil Slowbro, as it is
Can.
printed exactly the same.
Yeah.
Slowpoke.
Slowpoke, sorry.
Yeah.
Nah,
buddy.
man. Nah, man. Breakpoint Slowbro.
It's pretty good.
Walk off Homer.
You could play one in that deck actually if you really wanted to.
Yeah, you could.
I think that reads, if you run this card and you're down to 1 prize, it is a miracle. I think that's what the text actually reads.
Alright, let's keep going on our breakpoint discussion because I do want to get some more questions in for you guys before we do wrap up this evening. So my question to each of you now is, what do you think is the most overhyped card from the breakpoint
I know
set?
what it is.
We're going one at a time. Daniel.
Could you come back to me? I need to think this over.
Alright, Jordan was
Hollow.
excessively
It's
excited.
actually Hollow. Hollow was terrible.
No, that
Hollow
only
is
James
good.
is only James overhypes that card. James is the only person who thinks that card is good and is
Me and
wrong.
him were
That's
testing it.
other
It's pretty good.
It's
No,
not.
it's actually not. You're wrong.
We argue a
But-
bit.
Alright.
Darkrai is so out of date now. And it's a harder to power up Darkrai. What don't you understand?
Yeah.
It's 130.
Darkrai with
Alright.
Darkrai can hit 130.
But
Darkrai can hit
Jordan,
150.
if you put force specified energy on it, it can heal a little bit. Like
Yeah,
if
heals
you ran
It's
if you
so
ran Sona
boring.
Lady,
Nah, just Ho-Oh. Just don't play it and you'll win.
Funny thing, in my pre-release deck, I didn't read Ho-Oh properly. I pulled a full-out Ho-Oh. And so I put a bunch of fire energy in, and a bunch of lightning, and a bunch of grass.
you
But I
didn't put
didn't.
water in, did you?
But I didn't put any water energy in my deck, so I couldn't actually attack with Ho-Oh.
Oh,
But you
man.
healed a lot of damage, I bet. Did
And
you win
so-
my deck out?
No, what happened was, in my first round, I looked down, read Ho-Oh, said my fires were water energy, and then kept going.
Oh my god, you are literally scum.
Oh, my God.
I love Pokemon. Alright, anyway, let's keep going. Blake, what do you think the most overhyped card in the Breakpoint set is?
Okay, it's pretty close, and it's sad because initially I had high hopes for it as well. But it's pretty much a tie between Garchomp and Darkrai EX. I think they are both equally disappointing in how they turned out, despite like how good they look on paper. Yeah, running like 2-2 Hypno and 2-2 Zoroark and All Night Party in a deck turns out to make it pretty lackluster to do 180 with a Muscle Band, considering most other decks can do it much easier. The first attack is not really worth worrying about because you're never going to get more than like 6 Dark Energy down in a single game, let alone at one time. And Garchomp just isn't good enough against other non-EX decks, unless you're hitting for weakness or like getting Fighting Stadium bonuses off. It's really lackluster. It's just a worse Gallade.
Alright, Matty M, let's chat to you. What do you think the most overrated
Manaphy
card?
EX. It's just another flimsy ass EX that I can ping off with Trevenant.
I like
This
it.
one get rough seas.
I like
That's
it.
alright, when you're running Ninetales and the Dimensional Valley is fine.
It's a better Hydreigon, Matty, for your Ray. It's not 2 less, it's just free.
But Hydreigon doesn't have 120 HP.
Yeah, but you run Shamans in your Ray deck, and that has 110.
Yeah, but that's
so-
because Shaman's good.
Yeah.
Valid.
So's Manaphy.
He says, not sarcastically for some reason.
Yeah.
Alright, Aaron, what do you think the most overrated card is?
probably Garbodor. It's not gonna be good. Garbodor and Greninja Break, they're both just out.
Wow. Okay. All right. So I actually have a question for you about this because I think that's Aaron. I think that's a really interesting answer. So I wanna ask you a very important question.
That's a
about
really
that.
interesting way to say stupid instead of.
All right. I want to know, why do you not think that the addition of Garbodor back into the format does not make a difference?
Cause Xerosic, Megaphone, Trevenant will be played now. Like, they just tree lock it before it can tool it.
Okay, so you think that based on the cards that we already have in the format and the cards that already exist, that Garbodor won't see a lot of play?
Despite
Yeah.
every mechanic that you just described existed in the format where Garbodor reigned supreme.
I hate to say it,
Yeah.
but that was going to be exactly what I was going to say.
To be honest, I don't think it will be as big, mainly because a Hex Maniac is just an easier alternative. But Garbodor will still see play in disruption-based decks.
I guarantee we'll see some Garb. Aaron, I think that's a really interesting answer, and I look forward to you either being proven right or wrong when it comes to
That makes
regionals,
them-
because... No, I do really think that your answer is interesting, because I've seen a lot of people hyping up Garbodor, and I've also at the same time seen people say that Garbodor is a non-factor. And for me, it's really interesting to get both sides of those opinions, especially that I can see that some of you are of the opinion that Garbodor is going to be very strong. My next Breakpoint-related metagame question is now the most underrated card. Daniel.
Most underrated card, okay. I would have to say Misty's Determination.
I would have to say no.
Yeah, I agree with that.
Yeah.
Anyway,
No.
can you expand on your reasoning why I missed this determination?
I don't see it being played because I don't see it as good, but I see it as a better card than people give it to be because like you get a choice on what you get rather than like discarded card to draw a card.
It's a worse Great Ball.
Exactly. It's a slightly worse Great Ball.
How's that good for your argument?
I don't think I answered
You
this
just agree that it's a worse version of a card that already doesn't see play.
You know, it's a card that people take out of theme decks.
Yeah.
Great
No,
ball.
but, okay,
But
so
yeah, it's gonna be good, guys. Trust me, it'll be great.
yeah, no, I immediately regretted my answer because I thought you said overrated, not underrated.
Hey Daniel, I don't actually think I came back to you with an overrated card. So-
Overrated. Yeah, my most overrated card would probably have to be Psychic's Third Eye because I've heard a couple of people say, "Oh, that's going to be so good," when Delinquent's in the same set. So why are you hyping this?
All right, let's go to Jordan now for
Alright. I
underrated
probably
card.
would have said Slowking, except that's already been mentioned, so I'm still going to say Shiftry. I think
No.
Shiftry's... No, I don't think it's going to be great, but I think it deserves more credit than it's getting. That attack is so good for Disruption, and we've got so many Disruption cards in format.
Okay, Blake.
Hang on, I'm gonna forget about it unless I don't bring it up on my
Alright, Dark Colorless, flip 3 coins. If any of them are heads, look at your opponent's hand and discard a card in their hand for each head you got.
Oh my god, that's so trolly. I'm playing that.
Yeah, I know, right? You play that and Delinquent in the same turn, you just win.
How
Oh,
many?
dude.
How much HP has it got?
140.
That's pretty good, actually.
Yeah, I mean, it's not great because it's a stage 2, but it has potential to just destroy games.
And you can use Trick Shovel to determine what your opponent's drawing, and use the second attack to get Trick Shovel back.
Yeah, exactly. The second attack is Dark Double Colors for 60, and put any trainer card from your discard back into your hand.
Unlimited hammers.
It's decent. It's not amazing, it's decent. Underrated for sure.
Okay. All right. Maddie, while we wait for Blake.
Well, I actually have 2 underrated cards that I think are actually alright. Like, one of them is Reverse Valley, just, you know, because I'm a dark dot deck player.
That card's great.
But Bursting Balloon. It's like, do you want to play Night March? Because, like, you can if you want.
But Night March has more than 60 HP now.
Yeah, but you can run Megaphone as well. It's just like, okay, do you want to play Night March now?
And then there's Megaphone.
No, Trevenant.
Does Bursting Balloon drop off after you play it, or is it after?
All they have to do is pass the turn.
Yeah.
Then you get a free turn. I'll take that trade.
Yeah, no, it's not bad.
Wait, doesn't Trevor beat?
What did you say, Aaron?
What's that sound? What's that sound?
Doesn't it already beat Night March? Like
Probably.
tree break, smash it.
Pretty easy. All I have to do is announce an attack.
Silent
Maybe
Fear,
2.
good
Maybe
game.
2.
All right.
I got it now.
Okay. Well, mine. I'm gonna say mine first.
Alright, fine.
My most overrated card in the set is going to be Delinquent.
What?
Yep.
I think that a lot of people have been hyping up Delinquent as a great card, and to me it shares a lot of the same properties that supporters in the future have had, that people have said they'll be good, and they won't make an impact for some time.
Wait, weren't we doing underrated cards?
Yeah, but I'm doing my overrated
He
too.
didn't
And
do
in
his
terms of
overrated.
underrated, I'm going to say that Mega Scizor is underrated. I don't think that it's great, and I don't think that it's going to make its way into the final table of our regionals. However, I do think Scizor's ability to disrupt and its strong tanky nature, and I think that Entei is going to be seeing a lot less play with cards like Fury Belt, and then by extension Megaphone becoming much more popular. Trevenant as well. Greninja even potentially. So I think that Entei is going to be seeing a lot less play, and we're going to see the reintroduction of metal and grass type decks back into the format that perhaps were on the fringe before.
I'm calling it now. Mega Sizzle Slowking's going to be a thing.
You're
Don't give
disgusting.
people bad ideas. My
Alright, Blake, your underrated
yeah.
card.
My underrated card, I think, just looking through now, is actually a reprint, and I think it's the reprint of Max Potion. I think that
Doesn't
could
count.
potentially make a huge impact coming back into the meta. Um, there's not a lot of steel around at the moment, and even though we like sort of teased the idea of Mega Sizzle being a thing, Gardevoir with the addition of cards like Max Elixir and Max Potion could give it the speed and the durability to be outrageous, which I know that my friend Sam will be very happy about because all he does is play that deck.
Hey Blake, why
Yep.
would you play Max Elixir in a deck that plays Mega Turbo?
Play
Because
both.
you can only run 4 of one given card in a deck, Matty.
Puzzle of Time, mate.
It's too hard to get 2 puzzle time in the same hand when you don't run like Skylar or insane or
Teammates.
Just trying to make you think.
Another
Don't do that. That's not what I'm here for.
probable inclusion in my overrated list is actually Puzzle of Time.
I agree with that.
Yeah.
I think that aside from 2 decks, it's going to be very underplayed, and you're going to see people dropping it in weeks to come because
if the
they can't
Toxic
get it
Laser
to
was
work.
still a thing, it would be huge.
It would be.
I think it's going to be put in. I think it's going to be 4 copies of in every disruption deck and every Night March list. So I think it's going to be around. It's going to be very annoying, and it's going to be like playing against Sableye, except on a trainer card.
I don't think the disruption decks can fit it.
I think they're going to have
it's
to.
Durant. I think that thing's good.
I think that's God. I think that actually I want to change my answer for overrated card to Durant because I want people getting the wrong idea about a card with 70 HP that needs to have damage on it to do anything and have 2 energy attachments on it be good.
It's
Right.
dumb.
Why is Bunnelby good then?
Team Magma's sick.
Bunnelby
isn't.
doesn't need damage,
Yeah, but Bunnelby only gets rid of 2 cards.
but Bunnelby also gets you back shit.
Yeah, it can
True.
win you deck outs in several different ways.
And it evolves into
It's like
Dig Stick. Dig Stick.
Durant and Puzzle of Time in the same card.
All
And
right,
it's a bunny.
Aaron, underrated. You've had all this time to think.
He doesn't think.
Oh, it's my turn. Durant. I just said
Damn it.
that.
Underrated. You think Durant's underrated?
Yeah, I think it's good.
There we go.
Oh god, I'm gonna get punished with this.
No, I actually agree with you for once, Taryn.
Woohoo!
Do we think, as a whole, this set is a good set in developing and changing the metagame?
Yep.
I do
Absolutely.
think
Yeah.
Do we
It's
think
going-
that the metagame gets better? Or do we think that this gives too many tools to disruption decks where standard may just become a bunch of Seismitoad Giratinas?
so. It makes players have to actually, think their turns through instead of have to just attach energy and attack.
Yeah.
I do have worries that Disruption's going to get too good. I mean, we don't want another Seismitoad format like we did at Nationals, and I feel like it's just going to be the same but Trevenant this year.
I actually think it's just gonna be Trevenant with Greninja.
With Greninja, we're talking 2 different decks, right?
Yeah,
Please tell
no,
me.
it's in like the 2 different decks being consistent.
Okay, good.
Like, the top 2 decks. I'm not
Good.
saying that the 2 is the one. No.
I like
Oh,
Greninja, but I
like-
don't think it's going to be the best deck in the format. That reprint of Skylar's pretty underrated. She's cute in that new art. Yeah,
Yeah.
No.
That
it's unnecessary and I like it.
best artwork in the format, I would definitely say the new full art on Skylar.
Yep.
You guys haven't seen Staryu.
I think I've got it right up here with me. Hang on.
This
It's
really
all
is.
relaxing on the beach.
Oh, Darkrai looks hell cool.
This really is some quality
Slowpoke with his
discussion.
dirt
Tune in
face.
for more and we'll. Hang on.
They're like, hey
It
guys,
appears
I
to
have-
be a picture of a Staryu in water.
It's relaxing.
It's
It's
game
like-
breaking.
It's having a great time.
I've never seen a Staryu in water before.
It just looks so relaxed, man.
Just chilling.
Oh, Daniel, did you know they actually reprinted Great Ball as well in this set? They gave you like 2 really good cards in the same set. Misty's and Great Ball. If you wanted to be, and if you wanted to be super inefficient, you could run 4 of each and then discard Great Ball with Misty's Determination.
Yes, yes,
I'm
I
You
will
can get
do that.
you can get Great Ball.
No, I'll use Great
Yeah.
Ball to get the card that I discard.
Alright guys, let's stay on topic because I have 2 more questions for us all before we wrap up this evening. My
That's
next breakpoint related metagame question is this. What is a deck that everyone here is looking forward to playing in the breakpoint metagame?
Greninja.
Jordan.
Darkrai Hypno.
Does it have to be a new deck?
Well, yes. A
Isn't
new
that
archetype, for example.
He's gonna reveal his secrets if he actually tells you. I think that's what he's worried about.
Alright, I'll say something interesting. Durant. Don't hate me,
Oh.
Blake.
That wasn't interesting.
He already hated you.
I don't like the kid, but I have to agree with him. Greninja is going to be fun. I like throwing water energy at people. I liked playing Greninja Kingdra, and I'm going to like playing a much better version.
Yeah. I'm enjoying testing throwing frogs at people to win.
I'm going for Turbo Veltal.
Yeah.
Zoom,
Darkrai's so good.
zoom.
Makes things go to
Darkrai's
sleep.
It's not.
It's not good. Don't play it. And don't do what Scrubs do and play it with the Malamari X.
That's even better.
No, it's not.
It's better than Hypno.
Alright guys, my last question for you before we can wrap up for this evening as we are getting close to an hour. So, my last breakpoint metagame related question is this. What's the play for regionals? Now, I'm going to give you all a second to think about this, and you don't have to give anything away, but I want you to think in terms of things that we have discussed this evening, in terms of trends that we have seen pop up over all the city championships, and moving forward. What do you guys think is going to be the strongest and best deck going into regionals?
Seismitoad Garbodor.
Yes, I built that.
Daniel.
I'm going to either say what Maddie said, Toadtina or Trevenant, because Disruption's just going to be so strong.
I'm gonna say Night March just because it's pretty good still and it's cheap.
Just like
I
you
think
were.
it's- I think it's going to be Trevenant. Turn 1 item lock's just too strong, and now it's got support.
And now you can make your opponent have turn 1, like, 1 card in hand with the item lock. Just
You can make them turn 1 0 card hand if you do it right.
Well, if you're playing the Astonish Trevenant, yes.
Red card.
Exactly.
And then Wally into... Oh, wait.
Then you can cheat and play Wally and Thingo in the
After
same
you
turn.
attack.
And you attack on first turn, which is also cheating.
Yeah.
Alright, Blake.
I was actually going to go along the lines of more like as an SA player, I think I just default to like Dark Garb because Trevenant's going to be big, attacking for like 60 against Trevenant on the first turn with Reverse Valley and Muscle Band with Baby Y is going to be pretty solid. And focusing on disrupting abilities like Greninjas, which are going to be pretty strong and heavily favoured, I think is going to be solid. So like just ability disruption and dark focused decks, I think it'll be really strong for Melbourne.
Actually, another deck that I was testing out, which I think was going to be pretty fast, is just Yveltal Zoroark with Tekins. No Gallade, no Octillery, just Tekins. Just, yeah, the deck ran really fast, really solid.
It's almost got Dark Patch back. Almost.
Almost,
Oh, I
yeah.
did just say Turbo Veltal before I said Seismitoad Garbodor.
Yeah,
It's gonna be
exactly.
good. It's
And
gonna
then
be
I
good.
just combined Matt's answers together to make it faster.
There ain't
I'm
nothing wrong with
secretly a
getting
genius.
ain't nothing wrong with getting a 3 energy of Vedal or Darkrai on turn 1.
That's gross.
That's
I think
pretty
the only
gross.
reason that Darkrai is decent is because it's the only thing that Dark decks have access to that isn't weak to something Night March has access to, which it's been missing for a long time. It even has
Yeah.
psychic resistance, so there's something in that deck that can not give up a prize when Night March announces an attack. Especially if you,
Yeah, go on, Blake.
especially if you put a Fury Belt on it. 220 HP and resistance is pretty gross.
Even just Zoroark with the Fighting Fury belt's pretty strong, man.
Don't forget that it only works for basics.
Yeah.
Does
Oops.
Yes.
Yeah, it's not that broken.
Uh,
You don't get to give your stage 2 40 HP and plus 10 damage.
that's why you're secretly a genius.
Yeah, you
Matt.
put it on Trevenant Break.
Primal Ground on
I
like.
cheat all the time.
You're like, oh, I got a great idea. I'm going to put this on Trevenant Break or Greninja Break, so it's got nearly
Yeah.
200 HP.
That's why I tested
40
so well.
HP Garbodor.
You were just rampantly cheating during testing.
Actually, dude, me and James just like we played it through all the way like that. It was pretty funny.
Okay.
I already sent James a 60 card list to play at Melbourne that'll win.
Is it Toad Garb?
No, it's actually a Hoenn list.
You're gonna make him lose, Blake, and I'm gonna feel sorry for him.
Oh, that's part of the
Oh,
plan.
well.
But, I mean, he's not gonna watch this, but that's.
Like, dude, he did it to himself. He played bees.
Who
Alright,
played Bees?
James at like cities.
Bees is a great deck.
Nah.
Bees not. It's the best deck format.
No, it's not.
Why don't you play it then?
I did just do an interview with 2 players that won and top 4 at city championships with the Beast deck.
Yeah,
Was it
Sydney's weird though. They have a
Jeremy
crap
and Rocky?
format. Doesn't make sense.
Alright, guys, I have just one more question for each of you before we
Oh
head
my
off this evening. And it is there anyone you guys would like to give a shout out this evening to? Anyone at all?
The Scrubble Boys.
That's just a bunch of 15-year-olds who chat to each other on the internet. Alright,
Hey, Brent's
next.
12.
My beautiful girlfriend Deanna asked for a shout out. So
Hi,
if she's- if she-
Deanna.
If she's watching,
I'm gonna give a shout out to Blake's beautiful girlfriend.
double shout out. Aren't you lucky?
Holy shit.
How about a triple?
That was great. Alright,
That's just too
Deanna,
far.
if you're listening,
And happy birthday, Jordan, for tomorrow.
Blake loves you
Thank you.
very much.
I won't be at League, unfortunately, tomorrow, Jordan, so I won't be
Yeah,
able to.
Daniel.
Jordan,
Wow,
Jordan,
don't let him
skipping
down.
out.
Jordan, is it your 18th birthday tomorrow?
Work.
Yes,
Up,
it
Brady?
is his 18th birthday.
Oh my lord.
Tomorrow.
Gonna get
Here's on Jordan.
My friend, if you are not hammered about 20 minutes after this interview is over, you are doing it very wrong.
Jordan,
Is
are
it
you going
20
to,
to is it 20 to 12
are
already?
you going to town after League? For drinks?
Probably not.
I think James is gonna drag him by the leg, so I don't think he has much.
You have to. If you're not falling over from drinking 16 tequilas
What-
by the
what
end
you
of the
guys-
night.
What you guys should do is like invite me after I finish work at 12:30.
Will you,
Alright.
will you buy us drinks?
I might
Sweet.
buy everyone around.
You have to buy
Sweet.
Jordan one, so
Yeah, no, Jordan definitely.
I'm only going to go out with Maddie from now on where he knows the person who owns the bar, so we can drink for free until 5 in the morning.
Oh, that was a good night.
Oh, mate. If you ever drunkenly stumble to the center of New York City at 5 o'clock in the morning, it's one of the most magical experiences.
It was a lot
how
of
would you
fun.
how would you remember?
I don't, but I was carrying another very drunk person trying to get to a taxi stand.
You imagine it was magical.
Oh yeah, I mean I would have no idea because that didn't happen to me because I am a good Christian boy.
Who don't drink no alcohol.
I'm none of those things. I'm nor good nor Christian. Perhaps not
You're
even
not
male.
Christian.
No, my name's Bodie.
Ah,
Alright boys, so this has been Ace Trainer Australia's Discussion Points. This has been our 9th episode. This is over an hour long. I want to thank
the best
everyone.
one to date.
I want to thank everyone who's stuck with us so far. This has been an incredible experience, and I hope that I can do something like this again in the future. I want to thank Daniel Jarrett, Matt Shear, Jordan Palmer, Blake Whiteman, Maddie Macefield, and Aaron VDK for joining us this evening. Guys, it was a pleasure to talk to you. Congratulations
Cheers.
on your results, and I hope that I'll be able to see all of you for regionals at some point in the future. It has been an absolute pleasure. My
Hopefully.
name has been Bodhi. These are all of my Adelaide friends. And this has been Discussion Points. Bye for now.
Bye bye.
See ya.
Bye.
See ya.
Bye, Mom.